Your income doesn't matter. Your age doesn't matter. Your race doesn't matter. Your geographical location doesn't matter. There's a thing that you and I are dealing with in your money, and it's called math. And none of those things I just mentioned give you a pass on math. And where people get themselves in trouble, including when I went broke many years ago because I was stupid, we get ourselves in trouble when we don't bother and do the math before we do the transaction. We're the stupid woman from San Diego who leased her dog for $5,400. We make $90,000 a year, and somehow in our brains figure out that our children deserve a $50,000 Honda SUV. And now we have to take the kids out of private school because we can't pay the payments on the SUV and the private school because we didn't do math. We're 21 years old. We buy a $10,000 car, run up $10,000 in credit card debt, and have $10,000 in medical bills and make $30,000 a year. When you make $30,000 a year, there's nowhere in that plan that the $10,000 car makes sense. There's nowhere in that plan that running up a bunch of credit card debt gives you any room to breathe. You already can't breathe. We have 3 kids. We make $28,000 a year. Should I go back to work, the woman asks. $28,000 income with 3 kids. Our health care is provided by Medicaid, which is welfare, because we qualify. If I go back to work, we won't qualify for that. And if I go back to work, they'll have to pay for daycare. When you make $30,000 a year, there's nowhere in that plan that the $10,000 car makes sense. There's nowhere in that plan that running up a bunch of credit card debt gives you any room to breathe. You already can't breathe. We have 3 kids. We make $28,000 a year. Should I go back to work, the woman asks. $28,000 income with 3 kids. We have 3 kids. We make $28,000 a year. Should I go back to work, the woman asks. $28,000 income with 3 kids. We have 3 kids. We make $28,000 a year. Should I go back to work, the woman asks. $28,000 income with 3 kids. We have 3 kids. We make $28,000 a year. Should I go back to work, the woman asks. $28,000 income with 3 kids. We have 3 kids. We make $28,000 a year. Should I go back to work, the woman asks. $28,000 income with 3 kids. We have 3 kids. We make $28,000 a year. Should I go back to work, the woman asks. $28,000 income with 3 kids. We have 3 kids. We make $28,000 a year. Should I go back to work, the woman asks. $28,000 income with 3 kids. We have.
Hi. Oh, okay. We're good. How y'all doing tonight? Uh, oh, I'm hearing something in my headsets. I got so many windows open. I don't know what's playing. Hmm. Ay, 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 ay. All right, I found it. Here we go. Hi, everybody. Hi. The Sean is up in this Z7. I got the his and hers. I got the other 50% up in this bitch. All right, man. I'm gonna jump into this thing, man. People, I'm gonna talk about something tonight. And do I dare say here we go again? People, I realized something. I realized that I have the horrible job of being the translator. Um, there was a movie that was out back. It came out back in 1987. It was called The Predator with one Mr. Arnold Schwarzenegger. And in that movie, there was a woman that was rolling with a special ops team, and she was trying to translate to one guy about what hit them. So she was like, "This, Mexico, about this." She says the men came out of the woods. Then Carl Weathers said, "Bullshit! That ain't what she said. What she said don't make no damn sense. It was she said we got hit by a fucking lizard." The translator had the job to translate, but he took the message and was like, "I don't want to say it like that," because he knew as the translator, he couldn't say what she said. So he tried to put it out there as something else, but there was somebody there that knew how to speak the language and said, translator, what you talking about? That ain't what she said. I'm saying that to say I realized something today as I was talking to an individual on the phone. I am that translator that got to translate things. And I kind of put myself into a lot of women's shoes. And I listened to me as if somebody else was saying it and said, if you didn't know the origins of what I was talking about, you probably would think all those words were coming from me. That flashed through my head. Then I said, I don't give a fuck. I really don't. I don't. I don't. If you're dumb enough to get mad or have animosity as to what I'm saying, I'm sure there's a short cliff somewhere. Go take a long walk. Really, I'm done. I'm done. That's why I got into writing books, because I wanted to stop this talking thing in its entirety, and that's why I got into book publishing. I can say, "Oh yeah, you want to argue with me about it? Go purchase the book." But I say all that to say I got to bring some more bad news to you guys, because um, as I was thinking today, like I said, I thought about some things, and I just wanted to share that with y'all, I guess. But people, all the messed up things that I learned about women, you may think by listening to me, you may say he learned about it from the women he dated. You would be wrong. I actually learned about the ways of women from my own mother, as everybody should learn about their birds and the bees, not birds and the bees, but the psychological climate of men and women. You should learn from your parents. We love our parents, so we don't equate the jacked up ways. We can look at our siblings, if we got four siblings, if we all got different fathers, as we just got different fathers. But if we look at your friend, or if you were dating a man with four kids by four different women, you say, damn, I mean, you was a hoe. If you look at five women with five kids by different dudes, you'd say she was a hoe. But when we look at our parents, we exile them from that type of criticism. I need y'all to follow me. Appreciate those thumbs up. Stop going with me. Stop being up going with me here. So we find ourselves yet again convening at 9 o'clock at night on this 14th day of January 2021. And I'm here to tell you guys a lot of you guys who try and date women with children, you will hear this perspective that doesn't need to be said. It's like, and not like you don't think that. My kids come first. You will hear a woman say, my kids come first. People, let me go left for a second. And I need to go left for a second because it's going to help you understand what I'm about to say. People, when I was a kid, I used to go over my cousin's house. My cousin's house consisted of two females and one male. On Christmas, my cousin this is when Huffy bikes first came out. My cousin got a Huffy bike with a police siren on it, a gas tank, the big fenders that was about 3 inches above the wheel. It was a crazy looking bike. It was 1978. None of my brothers and I ever got a bike like that. My mom and dad had four children. My cousin, it was him and his two sisters. But my cousin got a bike that blew our minds. It had a siren on it. It was bad, black and yellow. My female cousins, they got dolls, big ones, little ones, ones that move, still dolls, stuffed dolls. They got dolls. People, when you were a kid and you seen your little sister or someone playing with dolls, that takes imagination. I'm no psychiatrist. Just hear me out. It takes imagination to pick up two dolls and be like, you kiss him, you kiss him. You're gonna, okay, I got to get out of bed, blah, blah, okay? Takes imagination. When I went to go see Transformers, what was said was all the adults that were in there, men, wasn't taking their kids to go see Transformers. It was the adults taking their kids with them, because Transformers, that was for us. I'm talking about the young cats. Need y'all to follow me. Where am I going with this? It'll help me line up to what I'm about to say. When you talk to a lot of women, there's a perspective about the house on the hill with the picket fence. There's I'm going to say this to him, he needs to respond this way. They still use their imagination. There's a lot of thinking going on. There's a lot of, well, what you should have said was, no, it ain't what I should have said. What you already thought this out. I need y'all to follow me. Because the imagination, oh my. There are some individuals that you're going to meet that will understand their perspective, and some it will run rampant. When I was taking classes on foster children, it was said that 71% of all females are bipolar. I'm trying to understand the perspective of telling a man, my children come first. I'm trying to understand that narrative. The undertone of, if y'all don't get it, I'm saying a childish mind, just something ain't clicking with the perspective of telling a man, my kids come first. But if you can understand what I just said, in parallels, you'll understand this. I just said my female cousins got dolls. This was Christmas 1978. What's going on, Stretch? Did they ever make a Superwoman movie? No, never made a Superwoman. Nope, they never made a Superwoman movie. They made endless Superman movies, endless Superman shows. Superman. Wonder Woman came out. We loved Wonder Woman. She is very sexy, tall, Amazon. Linda Carter played Linda Carter, very beautiful woman. Wonder Woman. But when it came to males and superheroes, you can go on and on and on. As a matter of fact, before the Black Panther came out, I didn't know who he was. I'd never heard of him. I never heard of Doctor Strange. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? They came out, I just didn't know him. I think they're cool now, though. But the Avengers, a movie that strokes the ego of men. I wish I had a hammer like Thor. Wish I can travel through the Bifrost. The movies that depict the fantasies of men, number one grossing movie of all time. The Avengers. Number one grossing movie of all times. Why? The movie, The Avengers came out, and then Marvel got funny, and they said the women's live, women's rights, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They came out with the Dark Phoenix, the biggest flop in the Marvel franchise to date. Why? Because when I look back, women wasn't playing and thinking about superhero movies, but everybody want to ride the wave of the women's live and women's live and women's rights, et cetera, and women are like, no, we just playing like this, but I'm not going to go see no superhero woman movie. Dark Phoenix. And I watched the two stars of the movie talk about the movie, and I'm like, what the fuck did they just say? It's a movie for everyone. And this is what they said. It's a movie for everyone. No, it's not. Dark Phoenix was the only. Give me a second. I just laughed thinking about the damn movie. That was a corny ass movie. The whole premise, everything was corny. And corny. that movie was whack. Okay. I'm sorry. I had to get that laugh out. And I got it out loud. So I LOL'd. The movie was corny, man. You don't want to see other little dumb clips of the movie just I go to bed and wake up with laugh attacks thinking about that corny ass movie. That movie was whack, man. But the movie tried to ride the wave of the feminist movement and everything, and it just flopped. People, I think the reason why I am the way that I am is I think I understand women better than a lot of women. I'm not saying that to say that. I can give you an example. I can give you an example. Um, when I lived up north, uh, Captain Marvel, Stretch said, "What about Captain Marvel?" Okay, the thing about Captain Marvel was Captain Marvel wasn't made to be a hit. If you understand what the MCU was doing, they only made the movie to introduce her. That was a throw-in, so when she was in Avengers: Infinity War, you would know who she is. That movie was not made for. I went to go see it. You know, it wasn't a flop. I went to go see it because one thing that you gotta love. I mean, I hate DC movies. I hate DC movies. DC movies are dark. They rush the Justice League out there to try and compete with. Yo, when did you see the scene in um, X-Men Origins, and Charles and Eric went up to Wolverine, and he was sitting in the bar, and he was like, it was Hugh Jackman, and they walked up to Wolverine and said, "Hey, we got an idea." Wolverine was like, "Fuck off!" And then one movie later or so in X-Men: The Days of Futures Past, they made mention of that. When Professor Xavier was like, "I remember we came up to you, and what was that you told me? You told me fuck off." And I was like, "Yo, how do they put something that happened like 2 movies ago in the MCU and tie it in?" Whoever is writing the Marvel franchise has done an excellent. When you turn 50 years old, when you get older, let me not just 50, when you get older, the storyline means something more when you get older. And so Stretch asked, "What about Captain Marvel?" So what the story they said the reason why they made Captain Marvel. I did not know who Captain Marvel was. I thought Captain Marvel was Shazam. I'm like, Captain Marvel? I don't know who this woman is, but I went to go see it. That's why I ain't got nothing bad to say about it. And when you watched Captain Marvel, you see how they tied it in Infinity War when Nick Fury pulled out that little beeper thing, and who did he call? Captain Marvel. That's why they had to show you Captain Marvel, because Nick Fury in Infinity War called Captain Marvel. So what happened in between Infinity War and Endgame? Captain Marvel was on her way to Earth and ran into Iron Man and brought him back. That was some genius. That was like, yo, are you serious? It was just genius. So um, the X-Men franchise has got nothing on the Avengers franchise of well, Fox owns. Well, here's the deal. Fox owns the X-Men anyway. That's why they're so damn corny. Fox got so much stuff to do. They're not concentrating on Wolverine X, but Fox, Fox owns the. I don't know if y'all realize, but Stan Lee start parting out the Marvel rights. He start parting it out. He sold um, uh, Spider-Man to Sony. He sold the X-Men to Fox, and now he sold the Avengers and those guys. He sold them to Disney. So I mean, rest in peace, Stan Lee. But he you got to understand it. So Captain Marvel was just an insert. That's all she was. Um, but I'm gonna tell you this. Um, I'm gonna tell you this. God dang it. So I'm I'm gonna tell you this. All right, people. So here's my clap back, if you will. Is what I have to do, and here's what I have to say to individuals that find themselves in the middle of a my kids come first. So people, I used to have a dog, and what I've noticed about women is women don't like to be second. They can easily dish out, I got to do this with my mom. My friend and I have to do this. Me and my sister are, we go into the grapevine and we're picking the new okie dokie grapes. Me and my niece, I had one, this is some true stuff. I had one woman tell me and my niece are very close. Any man that gets with me needs to know that I am real close with my niece. I'm real close with my family. Any man has to know that. I then asked this individual, I said, so let me ask you a question. When you get married, you become at one with that man. Yeah. How are you going to do that if you just told me moments ago that any man to get with you got to understand you are close to your niece and your family? You see, people, this is what makes me the hated one. I listen to people like Colin Cowherd that say, I used to do radio in Vegas. I used to do radio in Seattle. I used to do radio in Tampa. I used to do radio in Connecticut. Now I'm doing radio in Los Angeles. Colin Cowherd got wine stores in Connecticut. He owns a venue in Los Angeles. And one thing I've never heard Colin Cowherd say, or a lot of individuals say, is we are moving or I'm moving. I want to move, but my wife don't because let me do my dance. My wife is close to her family. That seems to be something that's reserved for the community you guys call, oh, black. So I I can listen to Nick Wright. Nick Wright did um um he floated around. Um Tools that when you're in the media platform, there are companies that give better options. They said ESPN was turning into a sewer. And so people left ESPN and went to Fox Sports 1. All right. Nonetheless. So that individual ultimately backpedaled. So when individuals tell you or you hear about my kids come first, you need to listen. Like I was saying, you're going to hear various reasons because I've never seen claims of closeness like I see um, with women in the community you call black. I've never seen men the lack of desire to build and the the lame a super lame excuses as to why you will never be first. I don't want to do this. I don't want to move away from my family. Me and I dated one woman, and it was like me and my family go to this church, and you get all these things laid out as to why you got to merge things with them. But the craziest thing of all to me is my kids come first. That is, first of all, it doesn't need to be said. Um, I know and seen and heard too much lost of a, an emotional side, being feminine, with always trying to cram some rule of thumb down a man's throat. And what they don't want to hear is, oh, you got a job. Oh, because you can ask any woman. There's not one woman out there that wants to be second. Not one. There's not one woman. As a matter of fact, I was often asked, who are you fucking? I'm like, nobody. Man, I'll be fucking, and I'm like, listen, ain't no woman coming to my house, being single and think that, this is going to be some type of house. And they're gonna be like, oh, I'm leaving. No, I need to stay tonight. I'm tired. I don't want to go. I'll go home. Ain't no women want the number one spot, is what I'm saying. Don't no woman want to be number two. But they gurgitate your position and what you mean to them flawlessly, effortlessly, and won't think twice about what they're really saying. I did a one-on-one with an individual that um, works at the ports here in Virginia and could have got, listen at this, listen to what I'm about to tell y'all, could have gotten a $98,000 raise at a position at the ports in Jacksonville, Florida. But what he heard was, I don't want to move away from my mama. I told him the divorce papers would have been written up like that. People, that is an insult. But she gurgitated, it comes out of their mouth how family members come before the man like that. Individuals will be listening to me saying, see, that's why I don't like him. Or that's why I'm skeptical of him. It is amazing. And I'm going to go left for a second. I want to go left for a second. All right. I'm going to go left for a second. So check this out. I can say a lot of things to tie my character. I can say a lot of things to tie my character in, and you'll notice every time that when I tell you guys something, it'll all equal up to the same thing. People, I love black people. I tell people time and time and time again, had I would have been born 10 years earlier, I would have been a Black Panther. So when you hear me, someone is very critical of black people, first of all, I got a right to be critical. Look at all that I've done. If you go, if there's anybody that follow me on Facebook, if you follow and you see, go and check out my friends, you'll see a gentleman by the name of Nelson Leaf. Ask him how I was when I was a teenager. Deshaun is going to get the one-on-one that I did yesterday, day before yesterday. I did a one-on-one with an individual that knew me when I was a kid. And he said, Chris, you was always ahead of everybody, protecting everybody, my crew. You asked James Lewis, a friend of mine, what happened when somebody tried to steal his coat. If you check with my friend Calvin Spencer, when we were stationed in Fort Hood, Texas, he used to roll with me. The dude that I'm not friends with no more, when his wife died and her family wanted to kill him because they said, that, they felt as though he did not give her a good life. I was his security. He came and got me. You go call the Orange Post Office and say, I would like to speak to Union Representative Christopher Smith. They'll say, oh, he don't work here no more. Okay, but was he the union representative? Yes, he was. I got decades of helping people, making them better. I can be critical and got time in of saying the stuff that I say. You'll notice that it all intertwines it equals up to the same thing. So I say a lot of things because I love black people. But I'm not one of those individuals that say I love black people and gonna be stupid and ignorant and just constantly keep saying, oh, we powerful, we this, we that. No, we fucked up. The problem is I'm educated. I ain't one of those fly by night 5% of individuals that want to say, yo, you a queen and you a king. No, you fucked up in the game. We don't does that over here. So I got a right to. You check my resume, I done went up and fought. You check my court transcripts, I done went in court, I done clashed with judges. Damn near cursed them out. And they couldn't say nothing to me because I was very respectful when I did it. So I got time in this game. So you can go ahead and hate me, you can be critical of me, but when I speak about black folks, black women, black men, I got a right to. I got a right to. I got more in the game than all five of them up, because you know, unless they are cops, I got more in game. I got more in the game. I got more in the trenches at helping black people than anybody you know. Me. So and taking hits as late as last week with the insults that I get. So you're gonna have to forgive me because I do not care. I speak facts. This is why when you get mad at me or something, even my family members, I got two of them. Pick one. That's how it goes. All right. I say what I mean what I say. All right. Be clear on that. Now, back to your regularly scheduled program. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. My kids come first. If you decide you're going to stand and be with any individual that tells you that, you're trying to build with somebody that's putting things before you, you need to do a self-reevaluation. That's what you need to do. You need to do a self-reevaluation. Because this is how this goes. Now, if you are dealing with somebody and you just in a sexual, a sex only relationship, I get it. But when when your intent is to marry and be at one with that person, then pay attention to all the things that they put before you. Because listening to a guy telling me that, man, I should have took a $98,000 a year job because the psychologics of women in the community you call black is all men are trash, and you will not find one that never had the thought. So there's always some type of, like Miss Ali said, an insecurity in there that always want to make them never come and be fully committed under the context of, I just don't trust you, the bottom may fall out. And I see white men, when they get promotions and everything, their wife pack up and they move. I had a long talk with myself after I did this one-on-one today. I was like, wow. And I had a long talk with myself because I had a dog. And I ran a lot of things back in my head when I had a dog and I was trying to date somebody and they got mad because I had to tend to my dog. And then you do a self diagnosis of the people you know. You know, I'm number one in nobody's life. I'm not. So I was like, damn, but I'm not married. I sure hate to be. I'm glad I'm not the individual I did the one on one with today. I'm glad I'm not. I just I get on here, y'all, and I bark this stuff that I bark. Please take heed to my words. Take heed to my words. Self growth, it should benefit everyone that you're with. It should. You know, um, I'm just close to my family. Um, you know, you know, a lot of women out there end up with mama's boys, and you go around, y'all go around the guy and his mom, and the mom talk to you like trash. Dump that dude. Dump him. Listen, listen. Um, there are some things that are so psychological, it's deep. And one of my problems that y'all listen to me is I'm too intellectual. I have a hard time understanding some of the simpler things. I can admit that. But going around somebody and their parent talking to you like you trash, and they sitting down there like, well, you know, you're not gonna say nothing, Paul. I mean, your mom is talking to me like trash. Like, no. But I remember, true story. It was Thanksgiving, and I was dating this woman that lived in New Jersey. She lived in an apartment building, and she couldn't have dogs. So I went over her house late at night. I brought my dog with me. I got up real early, took my dog home, and then about 3 o'clock or so, I dropped my dog off. I came back at her house at 10 o'clock. I went back to her house at I went home at 10 o'clock. Got back to her house, excuse me, at 3. Got back to her house at 3 o'clock, and this woman had a full blown attitude with me. It wasn't too hard to figure out where it was from. So this woman I had in my phone at the time, her name was Sexy D. And this was when phones didn't have like screens. It was just the analog, the green screen with the analog, you know, sent out a blast text. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I just text back likewise. This woman runs over, look at my phone. Oh, so that's what you do when you text. Oh, so that's what you text your friends? People, when you talk to a child, maintain your adulthood, your adult mental mind state. So I said, well, what are you talking about? Because one thing I don't do is I don't allow somebody to say something and then I automatically know what they're talking about, like I'm trained like a little damn dog. That's how you. What are you talking about? I had to ask this idiot 3 times because for some reason, when they get mad, the comprehension just drops. They just don't understand shit. She said, after 3 times, and I guess third time's always a charm. Um, she says, you text your friends. I said, so I text likewise. I said, listen, we ain't gonna do this. I said, you're not mad at a text. And then I was online. I was on my laptop, and then she threw a stab at me on that. You probably on on online talking to some chick. Boy, she really started to unload the nigger shit on me. Like she went full blown nigger on me. Well, everybody that knows me know I don't do nigger. I turned my laptop around and I said, "You see that search bar? Shelton Alexander. Me and him was stationed at Fort Drum together. I'm looking for him." Really? I said, "So, guess what? We are going to end this conversation right now because my mom told me never ever talk to a woman when she's mad. So I'm going to let you cool off and we'll continue this conversation later." To my surprise, this individual had that covered. "Oh, this is what she said, actual words. We need to talk about it now because I'm going to be mad later on too." "Oh, I'm sorry. I missed the train on you not understanding the protocol of communication." So I had to help this individual understand. I said, "I'll tell you what. Now, everybody knows I make no quarrel about this. I have a pick on me complex. I'm the youngest one in the family. My pick on me complex does not allow me to sit down there and go toe to toe with somebody. It doesn't. I can't do that. I can't. And I don't want nobody trying to teach me." So I told this individual, I said, "Listen here. I said, this conversation is over with. If you insist on talking to me, the next thing I say to you will not have nothing to do with this relationship or this conversation, and it will not be nice." And I said, and if I have to say something else after that, it's going to be worse than that. And you'll notice that the more you talk, the worse it's going to get. I said, because the next set of words that come out of my mouth, I am going to hurt your feelings. But you're going to get the fuck up off of me. So it was about my dog, if y'all didn't catch the undertone. And what I've noticed and what women showed me when I was in a relationship and I had my dog, they competed against my dog. For those that are single and got a dog, you know what I'm talking about. There are individuals that don't like dogs and will come to your house and try to claim your house. And you'll be like, "No. Mm-mm. My dog played second fiddle to nobody." I told my mom, my dog comes first. My mom said, "You're not going to have too many girlfriends like that." I said, "Listen, Ma. And we talking about girlfriends. Wife, no. Girlfriend, yes. That's how that works." Once again, y'all, I don't treat a girlfriend like someone I'm dating, and I don't treat a wife like a girlfriend. I don't treat a girlfriend like a wife, and vice versa. We don't switch up over here. And my mom was like, "Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Mm, don't I? Isn't everything I said? Don't everything I say make sense?" So what I learned when I had my dog, what I learned is women are not interested in being second. They're not interested. They're not interested in a clean slate. They're not interested in putting things on the table with you. There's always an underline that's going to be connected with why you will not be first. You'll be second. There's a lot of individuals out there that went through what this guy went through. Gave up opportunity, missed opportunities. Um, uh, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't. There was a movie that was made, Not Easily Broken. And in that movie, we seen a man that was dealing with, and it's not a coincidence that T.D. Jakes made that movie, executive produced that movie. It is not a coincidence. It's not. It's not a coincidence. That movie's not easily broken. The truth. The truth. I'm gonna tell y'all. I got some time. I'm gonna tell y'all about a story uh, that my real life situation about the movie Not Easily Broken. And um, I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Then I'm gonna end it. Appreciate you guys for being here. I dated a woman, and this is my experience. People, um, I date for one reason and one reason only. That's for a wife, and I'm saying that because this woman knew that. This is 2010, by the way, and I was dating this woman, and same situation, not easily broken. And this woman, when I called her on the phone, I would get, "Hey, baby," upbeat. When I called her when she was with her mother, "Hey, Chris." What's up, Cortez? Z7 is up in this. I dated her for 2 years. I broke up with her on her birthday. Brought her a tablet. This is when tablets was, it's 2010 now. And I broke up with her on her birthday. Went to her house. Whoop de whoop. Talked to you outside. Broke up with her on her birthday. And I'm going to tell you guys why. There is a myth that individuals break up with you right before your birthday. I wanted to start something new. And I wanted to make, I'm going to tell you, I have a psychological thing about overdoing things for perception. And I didn't want to break it with her before her birthday. Her birthday was in September. So I'm going to tell you why. The second year that we was together, we did not spend one weekend together in the summer. Not one. Her mother had made sure that every weekend she had her doing something. She lived with her mother. She had a house in Pennsylvania, but she worked in New Jersey. So she stayed in New Jersey on the weekdays and then went home on the weekends. And of course, when she went home on the weekends, her mother didn't come with her every time. And we got together. And I lived in Pennsylvania, of course. But what I realized is the second year that we was together, like if I'm trying to build people, let me go left for a second. I got a lot of time in this topic personally. I'm honestly, I could run this back to back to back. I got a lot of time in this topic. Um, Now I'm gonna straighten back up. Uh, and this individual, would the first summer we was together, it was like her mother was like, okay, then and let's be she worked for the school system, so she was off for the summer. So we make that clear too. And we did not spend not one weekend together. And that was by her mom's design. Honestly, I have to take hats off to my mom. That was the first woman my mom said, "Son, leave her alone." I could before that I could have told my mom, "Hey mom, I'm dating Charles Manson's daughter." She was talking about we were talking about going to go buy some knives. Oh, that's nice, baby. Hey mom, you heard about the Unabomber? I mean the DC sniper? Yeah, me and his daughter going out on a date. We going to the gun range. Oh, that's nice. This was the first and only woman my mom ever said, leave her alone. Her exact words was, son, let me tell you something. There are women that raise their daughters to do exactly what she's doing. Leave her alone. And I was shocked because my mom never said anything. That term my mama told me, you better shop around my Smokey. My mom ain't tell me shit. I didn't get nothing. You know, I'm drawing a blank here. But people, I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm the type of person, despite what people think, I don't say nothing about a lot of things that I notice. I don't. There are people that think that I like to say something about everything. No, I don't. And the reason why I don't say nothing about everything is because some things are unexplainable and will only be denied. And I could say things to people and say, well, remember the time I was on the phone with you? Yeah, you said that and this and that and that, and I can recall it word for word. And they will not act like, oh, that's nothing. That's nothing. I'm a man. It's something. There's a lot of you out there that talk to your woman, or a lot of you women out there that talk to your man. And when you talk to them at one time, their tone and temperament is different. They'll be talking to somebody and they just sound off. When I sense that, I say, well, call me later. I get off the phone with them quick because I don't want to hear the excuse. I don't want to hear it. I'm very secure in who I am, by the way. But people, you got to understand. I guess it's dependent on who you are. I guess a lot of individuals. I'm very you know I was talking to this female today. I was in a store and I was talking to the female that works in the store, and we was talking, and like you come in here and you always happy. I was like, yeah, yep, I'm always happy. Um, people, I didn't had my bad days. I had all my bad days in my life already. I had them. I got them all out the way. I'm not interested in no more bad days. I'm happy. I'm happy. I changed the bulb on my range last night. I was so happy. I changed the filters in my AC unit. I was so happy. I'm like, wow. Um, I'm happy. Filled out some things for some truck schools. Um, I ordered a dumpster for my shop. I'm throwing a lot of things away. About to do some work over there. Um, Vault Fitness is going down, and I'm happy. So I can truly say I'm self-sufficient in my happy, but a lot of you guys, if they ain't treating you like you number one, if there are a lot of uh, excuses, you might want to recalibrate. That's all I'm gonna say. Just recalibrate. Um, this guy, they were married. It's not like it was a girlfriend. They were married. People now, 3 years later, they're going through a divorce. He finally he he's finally fed up. So let's be clear. He was making about 70,000. He was going to get a $98,000 raise. That ain't enough for a woman to say, we can't. Let's leave things here. We can leave it here. I remember my neighbors next door to me when I lived in Pennsylvania. Right quick. I'm gonna tell you the story. It was a man and a woman. They got their house built next door to mine from the ground up. They said hello to me today, and the next day, stuff was on the top of their house, and they were gone. They didn't move one stitch of furniture. I knew they both worked at Walmart. The 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 husband was a manager, not the store manager or whatever, and the wife worked in the bakery. And I knew, what the heck is her name? Can't forget her name. Gosh, can't forget her name. Anyway, actually, I met Crystal. She wasn't working there at the time, but it was another girl. I knew her. She worked in electronics. Anyway, I said, "Hey, my man that worked in my man that was the manager and his wife worked in the bakery." She said, "Oh, forgot their names. Forgot their names too. That's the first, right?" I said, "Yo, what happened?" He said, "Oh, he got a store. They gave him a store. He got promoted to store, not a store like a. He got promoted to assistant store manager in Atlanta." I said, "You know, I live right next door to him." She said, "No, I didn't know. I didn't know that." I said, they didn't take no furniture. It was stuff on the back, up on top of the car, and they were the people. They were my neighbors. I'm talking about. They had a key to my house. Like, yo, if anything ever happened, here's the key to my house. Um, when I went out of town for like 4 days. I knocked on the door and was like, "Hey, here's my key to my house." I had a spiral stairway that went up to my loft, and I said, "There are 4 bags of fish food. Every day, just put 1 bag in." He looked at he said, "You trust me to go in your house?" I said, "Yeah, you my neighbor." And they just up and moved. But she said, "Dude got a promotion." They were gone. Didn't take a stitch of furniture. That's what happens when you are at one. Chuck D said it best in Welcome to the Terror Dome. And what he said was, and I heard what he said because I got the damn CD. Chuck D said, "Move as a team, never move alone, but welcome to the Terror Dome." Good night, y'all.